We in. It's your boy RZ here. Today is Thursday. I was off today. This one of my most challenging days, man. I had big plans. My wife was off today. Uh, First day, April Fool's Day. Happy April Fools. Uh, did make me a cake today. Coconut's my favorite. So I go ahead and dice it up, freeze it, stash it, and that'll be all I eat for the whole month. I only make one a month, right? Okay, but the day is Thursday. It's the four agreements. I woke up this morning. First thing I did, I prayed. Then you know that I got into my Bibles, reading up on some passages. But then the day started to kind of ebb away a little bit because I had some plans lined up, but they didn't go according to plan. I didn't get out and do the things I want to. And then a client called me while I was, called me. He was telling me about some situation. Hey, look, man, I don't think you've been doing your best. And I'm just thinking about, hey, damn, maybe I hadn't been doing my best. So I started feeling some type of way and just thought about those four agreements, right? That when you don't do your best, that's when you start the mind start going into ways of loss, going into ways of judgment, all these things. I said, dog, why I ain't do my best, man? Why I left that on the table? Why I left that undone? Why I left that unfinished? But I have to realize, right? I have to realize that, I had talked to my boss. My boss said, look, don't worry about that right now. Let's go on to this one. Boss don't like this guy anyway, right? Because the guy just like to use you. But anyway, now I realize, oh yeah, that's why I didn't do it. Okay, why I didn't do my best? Oh, that's why I didn't do it. See, now it came back on me, but I still felt some kind of way. I still got to get down in there. And another thing, I still ain't got in on my business yet. I still ain't got in on that because there's some type of fear that's built up in it. Some type of work that's built up that make me think that it's gonna be too much work. I was listening. This is what I was doing, right? I was checking out my boy. Name is Stern. It's a show on the Discovery Channel that I kind of text my daughter a picture of Grant Cardone saying that he was a billionaire, had $1 billion in assets, because she didn't like Grant Cardone. She thought Grant Cardone was not rich, thought he was broke. So I sent that over to him. Then she said, you know what? He's got a show out. Let's watch it. I said, oh, I didn't know he was going to watch the show, but it ended up in a show about this guy Mr. Stern, right? It's just where he was saying the American dream is still available, right? If you watching this, then your dream, the dream is still available to you because you got a cell phone, you got internet, you got electricity, you're in a house somewhere, so you got some access. And if you got access to a phone to see this, then the American dream or wherever you at, the dream is still alive. This guy was a billionaire, so we decided to told somebody drop me off at any state in the whole United States. Give me $100 and something to drive. Then 90 days, I'm gonna have $1 million business from scratch to prove that it don't matter. You still got it. But I know throughout the whole thing, he didn't have the cheese right. But one thing he did have, he still had his credit. See, so that was a deal. See, that was one of the pieces of the puzzle. But he still had his wits too. He just didn't have the cheese or his resources or his contacts. He had to use only the people that didn't know anybody. So he built it up from scratch, kind of walked us through it. And then now Cardone them is going out and and they're taking on the challenge. It was like a challenge. And so they're taking on the challenge. I'm starting to watch that. I'm holding up watching it because me and the girls kind of got into it. We loved it because we're thinking about entrepreneurship. We pumped up. Then we got to get to the ones with Cardone and I think it was Timberland ex-wife and then some real estate lady. I don't know what her name is, but they taking on the challenge to do the same thing with $100 in a truck or something to drive dropped off in any city because they made it right. Now they want to know if it was just a fluke or can it still be made with the skills they got. Can it still be made? The one thing I never paid it much attention to. I said, yeah, man, 90 days. I said, how in the world this man could do this in 90 days? Then I thought about it. It was an epiphany. The guy say drop me off in any city. I'm thinking, man, 90 days. I'm watching him, man, generating cash and all this stuff and finding this and doing that. I'm saying, dang, how you get that much time? I thought that's all he had to do. He didn't have nothing else to do. He had cut off all communication, all other side projects. Everything was cut off. The only goal he had was make that biz. That was his only goal. He laid it out because he didn't have to worry about cutting the grass, running a company, going to work, honeydews, nothing. He didn't even have no kitchen, so he had to worry about washing dishes. He didn't even have to bathe. You know what I'm saying? All he had to do was just sit there and concentrate on how I'm gonna go. What's the first step? He said, secure lodging. I gotta make some money. I gotta secure some lodging. How much money I'm gonna need? He started asking questions. I mean, it's just wonderful. I like the show. I recommend this show. We're gonna see how it affects me. But he had the muscles though. He had already built several companies, so he had the muscles and the discipline already built up. So all he had to do was just do what he do, right? Look for the strategic players. Start building the team. That's what he did. But he said, first I got to start with this. He ate ramen noodles, bathed in inside gas stations and stuff like that. He used his phone. He did have a phone, so that lets you know that if you got a phone and you looking, you got access. We both got access. So if 90 days from right now, it's April the 1st. 90 days from right now, $1 million business. Let's go for it. 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 All right, we going for it. We going for it. We gonna go for it. We gonna go for it. But I'm gonna have to cut some things off. Cut off spending. See, the man is spending. He had up at $100. It had to be strategic. Every penny counted. Every move counted. Every day counted. You know, every day got to count. I wasted some time today, no doubt, because I didn't have a good, concise, clear plan. I wasted some time today. So risks gonna have to be taken. They gotta be taken. They got to. So that's what we're gonna do. That's all I had. Nothing else to be said. Let's do it.